Hi, I'm Karen with CK Customs PA. I'm also an admin on the Facebook group Cricut Help Desk Unofficial. In this video, we're going to do some glass etching using a stencil made with the Cricut cutting machine. For the supplies you'll have a scrap piece of vinyl to use for the stencil, one of your cutting mats, a squeegee, the glass you're going to etch, a brush, armor etch, rubbing alcohol, a paper towel, and a transfer sheet. You may also need a pair of latex gloves. To get started, we're first going to go into Cricut Design Space. And here I've gone ahead and uploaded an SVG design. With the design you pick and create the sizing you'd like, you'll want to add an extra box behind the design. I'm going to go ahead and insert a square onto my canvas. I'm going to unlock the dimensions. And then I'm going to use this icon to stretch it into a rectangle over the design. I'm going to right click and center back so I can see that the design is relatively centered within the box. This doesn't have to be precise, but you do need that extra space around your design to be sure that you're only etching the intended portion. To make sure that these all cut as they appear on the screen, I'm going to select all and use the attach button on the lower right hand corner. Now I'm going to go ahead and click Make It. You'll see that it all kept together because I had attached it. You can move it around as needed to line up to where you've placed your vinyl. Again, I'm just using a scrap piece of vinyl that was left over from another project. It does not need to be precise as long as it is larger than the piece you're going to cut. I'm going to click Continue. Select your material. In this case, I'm selecting vinyl. And then go ahead and move to your Cricut cutting machine and cut your design. Once your design has finished, go ahead and pull it off the mat. I have mine right here. And I'm going to go ahead and begin by weeding away the piece around the box I drew. I'm going to remove that part first to help me see my design a little easier. You can either use permanent adhesive vinyl, or you can even use temporary vinyl. Next, you're going to weed away the parts of the design that you're going to want etched into your glassware. So in this case, it's actually going to be the word wine. Make sure to leave any center parts like the center of the E. So I'm going to start with my W. And these are going to be taken away and thrown out. And then on the other word, taking that part away as well. And then the wine glass, again, leaving the center portion that is intended to stay as the actual wine in the glass. Actually, it's the air spot above our wine. I'm corrected here. So, as you see, I have that as my stencil. I'm going to go ahead and put that aside. Next, we're going to go ahead and clean our glass. That's what the rubbing alcohol is for. Just going to spray a little bit of rubbing alcohol and wipe that with the paper towel. This will remove any dust or grease or fingerprints that may be on the glass. Okay, so we do need to shake the armor etch. Shake that up real good. I'm going to put those two aside. I'm going to come back to my stencil here. I'm going to use my carrier sheet and lay that over the design. Grab my squeegee. And from the center out both ways, flip that over and peel away your backing. Make sure that all pieces stay. So I need to make sure that that center of that E on wine stays. All right. So now you're going to carefully place this onto your glassware. I always start with the center, so I kind of roll it like a taco. And then you'll just want to look at where you want your design to be on the glass. So my box around may actually be above the glass, and that is okay. So I kind of got it attached just at the center here. Let's turn it this way. Just at the center. And I'm going to use my squeegee from the center and slowly kind of work outward. I'm going to use my fingers a little bit just to kind of help manipulate it on the curve of the glass. You need to make sure that all the vinyl parts are fully on the design. It is very important that you don't have any extra air bubbles or gaps on the edges of the stencil where you're going to be applying the armor etch. After that part, the rest of it can get a little wonky, and that is totally okay. So I'm focusing around the border of my design, making sure that all those parts are going to be totally flat, and I'll probably continue to work on them after I pull off the carrier sheet. All right, so let's go ahead and get some of that down so I can pull this carrier sheet off. All right. So again, my focus is around the design. We don't want any of that armor etch to accidentally get under the vinyl, because then your design will not be well defined. This E is a little bit difficult here on this edge. I'm just trying to make sure that we'll get the E on there and be defined. Alrighty. So I'm pretty happy with that. Making sure that, again, bubbles around the letters themselves are gone so that none of the armor etch sneaks under where it should not be. Okay. So I've got that ready to go. Again, we shook our armor etch. Now, this is a chemical, so you should be wearing gloves if you have any concerns. I'm going to do this real carefully without gloves, but I recommend you wear gloves. You also want everything to be at least 70 degrees or warmer to do this. And you're going to apply it as a thick coat, really kind of globbing it on to all the parts that you wanted to etch. You do not want to see your design through when you're finished putting this on. It's going to be that thick. So I kind of do a little bit of a wiggle as I put it on. And again, so thick that you do not want to see what the actual design is through the armor etch. Okay, now that that's applied and you cannot see what my design read, I'm going to go ahead and put that down gently. And at this point, you're going to set your timer. The Armor Etch directions say 1 minute. I'll be honest, I plan to set my timer for 4 minutes. See you back here in 4 minutes, my time. Okay, it has been 4 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and take my glassware to my sink. Using warm water, I'm going to rinse away the Armor Etch. Once all the Armor Etch has been rinsed away, then you'll be able to gently start removing the vinyl. I'll see you back here in a moment. Okay, once you have rinsed it and removed your vinyl, you can give it one more cleaning. And there you go. Let's try to see if we can get that angle for you a little bit here. They're not always the easiest to see with the camera angles. See if that helps you. So obviously, if you did this in person, you'll be able to see your design at this point, and it should look good. All right, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks. Happy crafting.